So you finally started your LLC. Congratulations. And you did what most people never do. You actually got started and you're in it now. But here's the truth. Starting your LLC is not difficult, but there are some mistakes that you definitely want to avoid. So in this video, I'm going to show you 5 common mistakes that new business owners make after they form their LLC and how you can prevent these mistakes that could cost you thousands in taxes, penalties, and lawsuits. And we obviously want to avoid those. So let's get into it. So, mistake number one is not getting an EIN number, which is the employer identification number, aka the social security number of your business. So, some people think, well, I'm not hiring anyone, so I don't need it. And this is wrong. So, an EIN number is, like I said, your business's social security number, and you'll need it to open a business bank account, to file your taxes, to pay yourself, to work with vendors, to build business credit. And it's just so important to have this, especially right from the beginning. So you can pay for your EIN through the Taylor Brands website, or you can do it completely for free on the IRS website. It only takes 5 minutes. You can Google IRS EIN application, and I actually have a video on this if you want to walk through of how to file your EIN number. It takes only about 10 minutes, and it's super, super easy. Okay, now this one is kind of a red flag for the IRS. So, mixing your personal and business finances. And what does that mean? So, using your personal debit card to pay for business expenses or transferring money from your personal account into the business account with no documentation. So, if your business grows and it ever gets audited or sued by a customer, anything like that, and your finances are mixed, your LLC protection can be pierced. And that's called piercing the corporate veil. And basically, it means your personal assets could now be at risk. So, here is how to avoid this: open a separate business checking account, get a business credit card or business debit card, and only pay for business stuff with your business funds. Also, transfer your payment to yourself from business to personal. Just don't randomly, switch money from one to the other. So think of your LLC like a wall between your business and your personal life. Every time you mix finances, you're kind of poking holes in that wall. So you want to just try to keep the two as separate as possible. Next is not having an operating agreement. So, an operating agreement is pretty underrated, but it's good to have. Even if you're a single member LLC, it's kind of helpful to have this. So, why would you need it if it's just yourself in your business? So, your operating agreement defines how your business operates, it protects you if you get sued. And banks sometimes ask for it in order to open accounts. And it also shows the IRS you're running a legit business. So it is an extra helpful piece of paperwork to have. If you have multiple members in your LLC and don't have an agreement, this is just going to be problems down the line, arguing, power struggles, lawsuits. Even if it's someone you know and love that you're working with, trust me, you want that operating agreement to make sure that everyone knows their ownership and the responsibilities in the business. So, your operating agreement should outline the ownership percentages, the voting rights, how profits are distributed, and what happens if someone leaves the business. So, you can check online to get your operating agreement and make sure you're doing this right away when you start your LLC or soon after creating your LLC before the business really starts to pick up. Next is forgetting annual reports and compliance. So, mistake number 4 is not staying compliant with your LLC. Just because you formed your LLC doesn't mean your work is done. And most states require annual reports, renewal fees, or franchise taxes. And if you skip those, your LLC could be dissolved automatically without you even knowing. So, what that means is you lose liability protection, you could owe late fees and fines, or you may have to refile your name completely, or someone could actually take your name and you have to start over with a completely new name. So, here's how to stay on track: put your state's annual due date in your calendar, sign up for email alerts from your state business portal, or you can use a registered agent service that reminds you or does it for you if you think you're busy and you might forget about it. So some states like California, Florida, Texas, these require annual filings. And some states do biannual, but it just depends on which state that you're in when you have to renew it. Number five is not tracking expenses or deductions. So, this next mistake, and this is where most people leave money on the table, is not tracking your expenses or understanding deductions. So you started your LLC, but maybe you're not fully acting like a business owner yet, which is okay, but it's important to keep good records. Otherwise, you might be overpaying on taxes, missing out on write offs, and wasting money that should have stayed in your pocket. And obviously, we want to make and keep as much money as possible. So, some things that you can deduct are anything including your home office, business meals, travel, internet and phone, equipment, software, subscriptions, and sometimes even your car if it's used for your business. So here's the catch though, if you don't track it, you can't deduct it. So use something like QuickBooks or even a Google Sheet to track everything. Keep your receipts, screenshot your Uber rides, log your mileage, and they even have apps now that you can upload all of that stuff to track. Once you've gotten organized, taxes seem way easier, and you'll be surprised how much money you can save just by those, couple dollars here and there. So let's go through a quick recap. The big five mistakes that you want to avoid with your new LLC are not getting your EIN number, mixing business and personal finances, no operating agreement, forgetting about annual compliance, and not tracking expenses or deductions. So, if you avoid these five traps, you'll already be ahead of 90% of new business owners. And this will save you a ton of headaches in the future. If you guys have any interest in checking out any other videos in regards to LLC or business in general, please check out some of my other videos. And if you have questions, please leave them in the comments below. I wish you the best of luck in your business and I hope it's super successful.